there, welcome to my channel. This is Cusp of Beauty Tarot, and I'm happy to have you here. I'm doing a little change up here. I haven't done a pick a pile in a long time, so I thought with Valentine's Day coming, a lot of relationships on your mind, love relationships or hopeful love relationships, or even this Mercury retrograde period where so much can happen, or possible reconciliations or rethinking happens. I'm doing a relationship reading about what the person on your mind is doing, thinking, feeling, etc. So if you're in question about that, hopefully this provides you some answers. I am using the Illuminati deck over here with a sparkly, I don't know what material heart stone. I have a tiger's eye over my Rider-Waite Centennial deck. I have another kind of a polished stone heart over my my fountain. Ooh, subliminal. It's not a subliminal. I often exchange the word tower for my fountain deck. I have no idea why. So the fountain deck is over here with the stone, with the painted dots. And the Wild Unknown Tarot is with the rose quartz. So if you want to just take a moment while I was rambling, I'm sure you already did, but take another moment and pick your pile. And we will, you can pause and think, or just pick one, and we'll get right to it. Okay, I've got various clarifiers and a couple oracles underneath each one. So I also am going to be using my Journey of Love. So if you picked the first one, which is the Illuminati, let me take these other ones out of the picture for you. And we're going to work with the Illuminati deck first. I'm actually doing a 6-card spread and then some clarifiers. So your person is currently in the energy of the Hanged Man. Their obstacle is the 8 of Pentacles. The reason or basis for the period of time in this reading is the alchemist in this deck, or the magician. Sorry, just getting my spacing on this first one. Recent past is the World. What's on their mind or what they're feeling or thinking is the Moon. And the way they might move forward, or the near future for them, is the Ace of Cups. So I will save some of these other messages for you. I've got some twin flame messages, a Mystic Moon oracle, and the Journey of Love oracle as well. So we'll save these off to the side for a minute. Let me just get a general reaction to your reading. Okay. Your, hopefully you can see this well. Your person is actually not in communication with you so much right now, I feel. I feel like they might be going through a highly emotional time, or they have a fear that's associated with them being in a Hanged Man. If they're in a Hanged Man, I'm thinking in this particular scenario, they're currently, it's not the insight side of the Hanged Man. I feel that it's a stall, and their obstacle is, could be two things. For some of you, your person is distracted from the relationship because they're very much inundated with their career or their work right now. For those of you where that doesn't fit, they're not working on this. Their obstacle is working on this and feeling the drive to work at this relationship in general, and it's not to do with work. The basis for the reading is that for those of them that are probably off, distracted and doing work and that kind of thing, they're off creating, manifesting. Maybe they're at that point where they've found themselves in a situation where they're starting a business or they're in a new role, work-wise, or they're just trying to make something happen in their life. The basis for this could also be for some of you that the person that you're dealing with is, certainly could be very charismatic, could be very communicative typically, could be a bit charming and sometimes a bit egoistic. If you're dealing with a person like that, that will lend the flavor to why some of this is happening. This is a bit of the flavor of, for some people, their words may not match their actions. For some people, I'm getting the sense that they might be wearing a mask to cover up their fear, and they have an uncertainty on how to move forward because of all the things they're balancing right now. They might have a lot going on in their life. The recent energy for them is the wheel. So I think it's caused there may have been some ups and downs in this relationship for those of you this is identifying with, to the point where it's left them uncertain on whether or not to work on this. There's been some ups and downs. They may be in a period of decent luck right now, and they're moving on their career luck or they're moving on their business luck. But in the relationship, as with the wheel, things are coming up, and then things that go up must come down. So they might be in a bit of a volatile energy where it's not been like steady. If it hasn't been steady for you in your interchange with them, it could be because they're not in a place to provide that. There's some fear. There could be some emotional upheaval in other areas of their life with the moon here, and they haven't revealed all of that to you. They maybe not have revealed their emotions to you. We're going to clarify that with some of these other cards here. But for some people, they're holding back, waiting, not sure whether to work on it, not altogether being completely honest about their feelings. They're much more of a talker, potentially. And by the way, many of the people I'm reading for have somebody who's very distracted on other projects, trying to make the most of maybe a work or other life scenario. What's happening, though, in the near future is interesting. The happening is there may be an offer extended to you in this area of the Ace of Cups. There may be a renewal of energy coming to this relationship, a new spark emotionally, or they may be receiving another offer. Either it's coming from them to you, or they're receiving an emotional offer of some sort. Okay, this reading is actually striking me as kind of confusing. Let's piece it together with some of these other cards that we pulled for anyone who picked the Illuminati. Pause. Okay, that clarifies definitely the Hanged Man. They are taking a pause with the Hanged Man, and this card here is pause. Your person is definitely taking a step back. Again, why? I don't know. Are they not revealing their emotions? Maybe they have really deep emotions. I would say, with the wheel and the moon, they're definitely in there, and the Ace of Cups. There's definitely an emotional side to this reading. They've taken a pause, probably to figure out some of it. The messages from the Twin Flame messages are, I just have to do something else right now. Please try and understand, which is very fitting. And maybe we're just too different. So they're clearly, doing some analysis over this. They're clearly doing some analysis. And they have, like we said, they have some doubts. They have some doubts in, they're just taking a pause to evaluate it. I think that's always good if you have doubts, right? Is there going to be communication during this period? I don't know. There is the beginning of, there's an overflow of emotion here that will end up being explored. This is definitely highly emotional for them, but I don't know if they're handling it the same way you would. And that's actually speaking to maybe we're just too different. Maybe you tend to go from the emotional. Maybe they tend to stuff their emotions and go more with their logic. You could be dealing with an air sign with this magician alchemist here, and that would be the case. The guidance for you in the journey of love that I picked for this deck, for this pile, is riding the cosmic wave. Number 60 or number 6, which is very interesting. I'm going to read that one to you. And let's see. I don't know the interpretation of all these, but I can guess what this one is. You can be carried further by the cosmic wave than by your own efforts. Could be a little bit of Wheel of Fortune happening here. Where you are going cannot be attained by effort. The effort, the discipline, prepares us for the leap. But after the leap, we are no longer sustained by our efforts, but by forces greater than us, the forces of love itself. You are stepping towards the edge, preparing to leap, and let the cosmic wave of love carry you forward. You shall be moved through grace into a new world awaiting you. This oracle brings a message. There is a time to work hard and a time to allow the fruits of one's labor to manifest. When one can be carried by forces set in motion, by the energy, when one can be carried forward. You can't let go and move further. You can let go and move further, reach farther with less effort. Now is the time to give yourself permission to stop paddling and instead just ride the wave. Give in, let go, and be moved. And then the poem is, your spirit flies like the wind, warms like the sun, and watches like the sky. How wise the earth, waiting for the moment to be touched. So I think it's really saying to align with the universe right now and not overthink, overwork, overdo on this. It looks like the divine is offering an opportunity to address the emotions in the near future, either by you or by them. There is an emotional offer coming through, so ride that wave. In the recent past, there's the Wheel of Fortune, which is the universe at work. So no matter what's happening, even if your person is taking a pause, I think this would say you've probably done what you can do for the moment, and this has to percolate, this has to stir, stew, and hold your feeling and hold your intention of the right love. And whether or not it's this person, if you're loving yourself first and then holding an ideal intention of what your love should be for you, what you need and want, you can't go wrong, basically. So ride the cosmic wave is the message. And it's hard not to get attached to what your person is doing, but that is the message for those of you in this particular first pile, Illuminati deck. Okay, so moving along to the next one, which is the Rider-Waite Centennial deck, the Tiger's Eye Heart. And I will save the other extra messages for right after. So where your person is right now is the Six of Cups. Their obstacle is the Hanged Man. I've got another Hanged Man, interestingly. Their basis for this reading is the Three of Pentacles. Recent past is the Devil. What's on their mind or how they're feeling or thinking about things is the Five of Swords. Potential for moving forward is the King of Swords. Okay. Let me just take a sip of my drink here too. So in the recent so your person is in the energy of the Six of Cups. So they are in the energy of, trying to hold an innocent view of this partnership. They have a warm and friendly, warm and kindred spirit sort of feeling about this partnership, for sure. For some of you, it is actually a version of a soulmate relationship. Because to me, if they're in the Six of Cups and there's a Devil here, again, it may not be the healthiest thing. We know soulmates are here to teach us things, and they can be very kind of challenging. So for those of you who are in this vibe, your person is maintaining and trying to maintain what has been in the past, a relationship where you have built together, partnered together. Maybe you were on a project together. Maybe you were, maybe you connected at work, that sort of thing. And yet, whatever's happened to this, they have retreated and kind of slowed this down. Again, their challenge is the hangman. The hangman for them, they might be challenged in getting some insight over this. They might be challenged in making a sacrifice. But what might be happening is they put a slowdown to the communication as well. What used to happen is you were building together. In the recent past, something might have become overly emotional, toxic, maybe a little codependent, just not healthy for one or both of you. So for many of you that this is resonating with, it's recently just not been healthy for both of you. And what's on that person's mind is a bit more, this is my like zero-sum game, win or lose, like winning an ego at all cost is more important than, than kind of coming together in harmony. So, that, or, could be on your end, there was a recent fight. I think the main issue is there's been a fight between the two of you. In their mind is a memory of this fight. They're trying to maintain this innocent reflection of when times were good. They're kind of just confused, and there's a bit of a gap maybe in the relationship right now. Maybe you're not together. Maybe there's been a stall out in the communications. You used to build together. It's somehow gone a little unhealthy. I'd say a lot unhealthy. You still feel bound to each other, but there's been arguments. There's been words. They're in their mind over it. Going forward, what they may be doing or thinking is more, I need to kind of step back and detach. I'm going to look at this logically and follow my head over my heart. I don't see this as like they're cutting something out or ending, but I do feel like maybe they have also felt there's been a mutual feeling of getting really wrapped up in this. And the going forward energy for them is, you know what? I need to be more logical, crisp, clear about, in my mind, how to compartmentalize or detach. You may be dealing with an air sign, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, somebody who kind of can do that, more easily than somebody else. Yeah. So that's definitely challenging because at the heart of things, there's this, there's definitely like a soulmate connection. You were introduced to each other into this lifetime for a reason. Believe to gain insights and to grow. And maybe they're not evolving. Maybe you are, maybe they're not. They do know they like that feeling from the past. I think you do too. But again, I think moving forward, they're going to be more logical about it. The twin flame messages on this one is seeing you reminds me of the things I know deep down, and that's not always easy to deal with. Exactly. So if this has been some version of a soulmate, I don't say twin flame, soulmate relationship, if you believe in the soulmates relationship, that it's definitely been for the force of growing, evolving, even as difficult as it may be. And maybe even sometimes retreating and not communicating to try and get the message, to get the learning for them. They may have wounds or things they're really not yet dealing with, or when they're connected to you now, some of that pure love and the thing they're reminiscing on has become more of this push-pull because it's about evolving and it's about learning, and it's hurtful to them if they haven't quite done the healing because it's triggery, as we know. They do feel badly for the way they've treated you, and you didn't deserve that, is what they also want you to know. For many of you watching. Communication. So communication is definitely an issue. Maybe the King of Swords will go kind of more logical on this, and maybe the communication will come because the King of Swords actually is a communicator, but maybe they need this period to check out before they communicate in the near term. They'll probably come at it from a logical standpoint. Right now, communication is an issue. For some of you, though, you might still be doing some communication on text, and there's the banter back and forth. I just think be careful that it's not argumentative. And for you, the Journey of Love message is Burning Hero. Number 3. Let me read that for you. I'm going to stick that there for you. So for those of you who picked the Rider-Waite, the Burning Hero is your message. From the transformative fires of life's tests, you emerge now stronger in self-belief, overcoming self-doubt and fear, and shedding the layers that have held you back from burning as a naked flame of divine love. Can you perceive the coolest fast approaching to, can you perceive the coolness fast approaching to soothe your fiery, weary soul? Peace is coming to you now, a respite from the fire before you're ready to burn into love again. The intensity of fire exists in relationships to cool serenity, and you are capable of experiencing both. Your inner fire has pushed you forward, and your creative self-expression will manifest into the most beautiful forms. This is assured. You burn bright now, and yet it will be the cooling of your soul embers that replenishes you and inspires you to new creative depths and heights in due time. This oracle brings a message for you. From the heat of your labor, sweet success will arise, and you can act now as if that success has already been made manifest. It is only a matter of time before it is so. From that success, new levels of experience and creative manifestation will take place. You are in a powerful creative cycle of intensity and serenity, dancing with each other through your heart, like the sweet relationship of day and night. This cycle yields great harvest. Offer yourself in contribution to the greater good, and your harvest will not only of earthly delight, but of heavenly blessings too. The poem is, always feeling your love in every cell of my being. I open my soul, becoming one in your embrace. How rich the moments shared, I savor ever one, and even when apart, your love envelops me with knowing we are complete. Together, like a new day, we are born. Wow. There's not a whole lot I can say about that, except that you're in a state of manifesting. It could be complex. It could be that fires were burning high, and now they're cooled off, but you have to hold tight to your vision of creation and what you want to create and manifest. And it seems like you're just so powerful right now in that you can trust in that. From the poem also, it looks like your person identifies with that with you, that there's highs and lows, and that you've certainly touched their heart and soul. So where this goes, I mean, I don't know yet, but it's certainly a very passionate reading for sure. They feel you deeply. Let me know if this resonated at all. I just kind of read it, and it's hard to know if piecing it together resonates with you. I'd love to hear and see how it evolves over the next month. And thanks for being here. So that's the pile 2. Pile 2. Okay, pile 3, folks. We have the fountain deck with the stone heart. Your person is embodying the energy of the Page of Coins. Their obstacle is the 3 of Cups. The basis for this is the Ace of Swords. The recent past is the Tower. And that is very odd because I called this deck the Tower when I introduced it. Going forward for them is the 9 of Coins. On their mind and in their heart is the 5 of Cups. Just going to show you this image in this deck. The 5 of Cups in their mind and heart. Going forward is the 9 of Coins. Okay. So before we get to some of these clarifiers, your person has a new, I think your person deep down would like to come forward and make an offer. I think your person is questioning the value that they bring. They might have been rejected or hurt by you or by somebody else during this period. They're starting to try and boot up, reboot. In the recent past, something, pulled the rug out from under them. Heart of the matter, and why this is, the basis for this is the Ace of Swords. So I think it's about clarity, communication, and victory. So moving forward with clarity and conviction is the purpose for this person. They, I don't think it's a matter of winning over you, like an ego thing, like the Five of Wands or Five of Swords or Seven of Swords, where it's kind of sly and just wants to win, or any of that, or Emperor being controlling, whatever. I do think there's a energy of wanting clarity over something and to move forward successfully for this person. I think they would like to express what they bring to the relationship, but maybe they were rebuffed by you or had another loss in their life. Their challenge is feeling confident in this reconciliation. Recently, they did have some upheaval, whether it was to do with this relationship or to do with some other area in their life. Some major upheaval or some major insight hopefully came out of the upheaval, but still they've got a lingering feeling of grief and loss. There is the 2 cups behind this person, but they do see they spilled these 3 emotional cups. So it could be to do with this relationship. There's been, a version of a separation, or a fight and then a loss, or just a lack of clarity has caused them to feel, like they've made up their own assumptions about this. However, going forward, they may take the stance of going it alone and trying to kind of muster up their own confidence and be free for a little bit in the near term to regroup. Like that may be their way of regrouping, that they need to create in the tangible world or create at work or somehow regain their confidence. But deep down, I think they need that victory. They may also need some clarity if they're still not sure. A reconciliation is on their mind and offering value and seeing, where they can put forth value. I think they've been knocked down quite a few pegs by something. I think it's relationship, but something's telling me it could be outside of the relationship too. And this has been like a little bit of a perfect storm for them. So they're regrouping. They're trying to regroup, gain clarity, gain victory, gain self-agency, confidence over the situation. And let's see, what are some of the messages for you from this person? Please don't take what happened personally. It's not you, it's me. That would definitely align with what I just said. There could be something that they're dealing with and they got spooked, right? So they might have been a bit retreating because they got spooked over some things that happened. Maybe it was other things in their life, and maybe it kind of combined with a mixed message they got to themselves, about this relationship. Fresh start. Yes, very much aligned with the Ace of Swords. They're kind of wanting a new victory, wanting clarity and a fresh start. 9 of Coins to kind of go out on their own and some freedom and a fresh start to create something of value. Page of Coins. They definitely want to feel confident again and be able to grow something and not feel, it says this all over this reading, with the Page of Coins, create something of value. The 9 of Coins is confident and is abundant and creates something of value. The Ace of Swords wants to create, wants victory, wants clarity. I'm not sure if they're diving back into the muck of whatever you might be dealing with, if there is any muck. I think they're kind of thinking, how do I figure this out? They could be the kind of person that when they have these challenges, they go kind of away or inside themselves to figure things out like that. And that's, if you're dealing with a male energy or a male, and I don't know that you are, that's a really common response to stress, and especially relationship stress, if that's what you're dealing with. The message for you is the 4, and it means the main message is simplicity. Simplicity. Okay, so let me read that for you, what simplicity means in this journey of love. So the message for you, those of you who chose the Fountain deck, is the number 4, simplicity. Bow to that which is simple. You will find answers to your most complex issues and those questions that seem to defy the possibility of an answer. You will find the solution now through simplicity. Live one day at a time. Have gratitude for whatever you possibly can, even if you are yet to understand why you should be grateful, because you cannot perceive the gift hiding within your struggles quite yet. Trust in the goodness of life, seeking to serve you into becoming the fullness of all that you are. Yes, beloved, even in your darkest night, the light of love is serving you. The most sophisticated of problems can be resolved through the simple answer: love, trust, have faith, be patient, wait and you shall see, let simplicity be. This oracle brings you an answer. Everything is going to be all right. Don't add fuel to the fire and look for ways to sort out complicated matters prematurely. Sometimes ingredients need to cook and percolate so that they can become a meal. The circumstances with which you are struggling will right themselves in time. Stay present and be patient. Pray in your own way, meditation, time in nature, dance, and literally talk to the divine. When you need to take a clear, simple action, you will feel it. Relax and know it is all working out for the best. And it's going to work out for the best. There is peace for one whose heart is open. So I think the big message is here: don't close down around this. Keep it simple. Be open. Be grateful. Be open to possibility. But don't effort right now. Pay attention to your own rhythms. Keep it simple. Trust in love. Trust in faith. And, do things, that work for you. Don't take it personally as much as what's happening right now is what I feel. If that person has questions and they're having to explore this, they may need to go what they need to go through. They're experiencing, the tower has happened either with both of you or with them. There's a loss here. They're trying to kind of gather themselves. The message for you is keep it simple and have faith. And you will know when to take a right action. Okay, and if to take an action, right? Okay, so for the last pile that I have, it is the Wild Unknown, and it was the Rose Quartz Heart. And let's see what's up for you. Those of you who chose the Wild Unknown, the Four of Cups is the energy of your person. Their obstacle is the Ten of Wands. Making sure that's Wands. The basis of the reading, Six of Cups. See that what's really interesting in this deck is the Ace of Cups has those like golden roots. So Six of Cups being something like maybe a relationship from the past or a past connection or that kind of soulmate-ish, I think, reminiscent sort of thing. Recently is the Sun of Cups. So that's the Knight of Cups. Recent energy on their mind or in their heart is the Seven of Discs. And moving forward to the near future for them is the Queen of Wands energy. So their current energy is in the Four of Cups. So they may be struggling with accepting an offer. They might be rebuffing an offer. You might have recently extended an offer and they're just kind of, willing to reject, willing to kind of stay status quo. Their challenge is they're feeling burdened right now. They're feeling burdened either by life, maybe a lot of things they're juggling. I'm feeling more so than the relationship. But I don't know. Somehow they're feeling burdened, but they're at the 10, so at some point they're going to reboot this and reset this, but it's in the obstacle position for them. So they're kind of being, there's a stubborn energy in them right now. There's a slow down, stubborn energy in them, not knowing what offer to accept, kind of just trying to, I don't know if they're fully appreciating what they do have or what they do have in you. And the obstacle is, it's kind of locking them down in general, their situation, and they feel a burden. Again, we'll see what that means. The basis for the reading is the Six of Cups. This has been a loving relationship in the past. there's still a tie. There's still kind of this emotional tie that you guys dealt with. There was a meeting of the minds. There was a kindred spirit sort of, instant identification with this person for many of you that was like pure and innocent and loving and made you maybe feel that this was really an important bond. In the recent past, the Knight of Cups, you might have come in with an offer for them, or they might have for you. I think this could very well be you for them, that maybe you were communicating, maybe you shared some of your emotions, maybe you were flirting with them or being romantic with them, but their energy is the Four of Cups. So maybe they didn't accept that, or they were not responding the way you had hoped. So they're a bit confused or complacent or rebuffing, feeling overwhelmed. Maybe it was too much emotion for them. We're going to try to clarify this in a second. What's on their mind and in their heart right now is the energy of the Seven of Pentacles, which is pausing, slowing down, evaluating, carefully looking at, is this something they can put their energy into? Being scrutinizing about it. Moving forward, they do have the Mother of Wands. They have the Queen of Wands. So they, at some point during this time frame, they will get a sense of inspiration. They will get, a reboot of, deciding where they're going to put their energy to try and create something. And the Queen of Wands energy is a very positive energy. She's a creator. This doesn't matter if your person is a male or female. They're going to get that fiery, creating charismatic, magnetic energy back in their future. Right now, they're weighed down. Right now, they're being complacent. They're just kind of can't get out of their own way. If you are the Queen of Wands, you're in their future for some of you, that they're going to. Let's just, I don't want to be confusing about this, but for now, let's take it that they're going to regain confidence and take back control and be in the power, of the Queen of Wands in the future. Their messages are, my mind and heart always come back to you. And yet I feel safer in the silence. Yeah. So right now, this idea of being, rebuffing and feeling overwhelmed and doing some shutdown and waiting and evaluating with the Seven of Pentacles, they definitely, their mind and heart always comes back to you, Six of Cups. There's this connection, no doubt. Right now, as they're processing this, as they're thinking about it, maybe again dealing with some overwhelm, they haven't been able to fully embrace an offer from you. And right now they're maybe a little silent. They do have this connection. They might be coming forward in a better state with this Queen of Wands in the future. Fifth dimension. You two definitely have I just got a chill reading this. You have a major connection here. They may be processing their own evolution right now, trying to figure this out. They know in their mind of heart that you're a huge connection for them. Right now, they feel safer in the silence, trying to work this out spiritually, emotionally. And the message for you, wow, is 49 in the Journey of Love, Oracle, Woman of Light. That's amazing. It's a beautiful, beautiful message for you. Let's see what that means. I'm going to read it for you. Woman of Light. Pure is my joy, my celebration. I know the divine to be eternal. There is no limit to my peace, to my pleasure, as I rise and rise and rise again. Capable am I of receiving the light, of accepting the next level of illumination. I am sacred flesh coming to light. I am the walking temple, the living goddess, she who shines with truth. I come to you now. I am one with you now. I am the awakened one and the awakener. This oracle brings you guidance that you are to be witness to the presence of an awakened being, either within your own self as a part of your spiritual destiny or in the form of a beloved other. An awakened one is in your midst or soon will be. Receive the blessing that emanates from such a being, for to behold one is a gracious spiritual gift that will lift you to the next step of your path. If you are having trouble discerning the true presence of an awakened teacher in your midst, or even in your own being, remember that nothing is asked from you by such an awakened one but loving devotion, so that they may serve the awakening of all living beings. It requires much karmic grace to be granted immediate access to an awakened being, even more to become such a living light. Take delight. Wow. So you've been doing something right, because you're being graced with that energy inside of you to be an awakened being, or surrounded by someone who is touching you in that way. You're being given access to that, and it's a karmic blessing for you. Okay. The poem, I asked God for a deepening of my love without realizing that the deeper I was willing to go, the more it involved letting go of any part of myself that wanted to love and still be safe and surrender to the possible. Lay the greatest potential for love at levels before unknown, like a cistern that holds the nectar of life and gives its precious liquid, only to be filled again with nature's flow. Such knowingness is a gift. For if you can embrace the blessing, you can live without question, relaxing and replenishing with each breath, with each kiss, always whole. So that's pretty powerful. I don't want to over explain that one, but you see that there's a lot of trust and going deep within your own spiritual knowing. And I think I got a message of slowing down. If you're not slowing down to be in touch with yourself and your own spiritual knowing, you will maybe miss some signs. And I think it's all about the connection and the spiritual knowing within yourself and around you. And you're being given that gift to ascend to that. And interestingly, your person is doing some evaluation, ascension of their own. They may be slower. You might be slower. Hard to say. I would love for you to drop a comment for me. This is a really powerful reading. I do believe, their heart and mind comes back to you, but they're a little bit in the silence working something out. And you need to kind of have faith and connect to spirit and your own sense of spirituality. And you've been given such a great gift. So surrender and trust. And there is this, Six of Cups in the basis of this. For me, that's always some kind of a huge connection. So let me know how it goes. And until next time, much love. Thanks.